Hello and welcome to Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra and I'm your other host. Hello, welcome. We're here.
We're here. That's literally the only promise I can make to you is that we're here.
Yeah, it's been one of those types of weeks, I'd say.
I am responsible for people at work now. I'm not a manager, but I have people somewhat under me for a little bit. And I'm like, I apologize. I'm like, I'm not normally like this. I'm normally better. I had to like apologize to them. And I was like, I'm normally a better steward of my time. Please don't let this reflect upon me this week.
Something in the air, some planets in retrograde or something, because I'm training a new employee at work. I too am in charge of people. And this is not why I'm trash, but I am trash for this. So this new employee happened to have gotten in a car accident yesterday on her way home from picking up her like work phone and shit, which terrible, but she is okay. But she had a lot of like, hey, I'm so sorry. I have to like take this call for my insurance and I'm just trying to sort all this out. And I was literally like, no problem. I am so slammed. Like, please do as much. Like I felt in like I selfishly was like happy that I don't want to say that I was happy she got in a car accident because I'm not happy about that. It was just convenient for me with what I was going through that she got in a car accident.
That she was occupied so that you could actually get work done.
Yes, because having to take her on with everything else I had going on just wasn't going to happen. So yeah, last night, by the time I was done with work, I was like, I'm just going to finish Cheer and like play Nintendo Switch and then watch TikTok until I go to bed. It was one of those days.
So we both have an obsession with Cheer.
Yes.
And you know, my fat ass is sitting on the couch, barely able to touch my toes as I tweeted, but I've got notes on Lexi's back handspring. You know, I feel like she's not going full out. And I'm just really worried about, you know, Morgan's post-graduation career. You know, what is she going to do? But how have you reacted to the second season? And is Monica a narcissist?
I finished it.
Okay.
Did you finish it?
No, I'm only on episode 6.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll say is it's nice the way that they've structured this season because you find yourself conflicted with who you would like to cheer for. You know, like you get to know Trinity Valley and you're like, shit, like, am I on Team Navarro or am I kind of rooting for Trinity Valley? So they do set it up in that way where you kind of root for both teams. Like you'd be happy if either one won. And it was really interesting. I mean, they went through COVID. Like I don't want to spoil anything. If you don't watch Cheer on Netflix, get yourself a comfy blanket and watch that first season and then watch the second one. I love it. I fucking love it. And
you don't have to care about
controversy.
Cheerleading. It's a team sport. It's a human story. You learn about these kids' dynamics, where they would be if they didn't have a team sport in their lives. Yeah.
These kids are coming from bad homes. Like I didn't care about cheerleading at all before I started watching the show. I think it came out in it was released in the early months of the pandemic. So it wasn't like Tiger King where it was like everyone watched in the pandemic. When it came out, like everyone did start to watch. We had nothing better to do. And so then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I really care about competitive cheerleading in a major way. So when I saw that the new season dropped, I was like, clear my books. Maybe that's why I was stressed out yesterday, is because I was watching it during work and I was so busy, but I was like working as if I had to make sure I was perfect for Daytona. I don't know.
Yes. I will, you know, the way like in there's a Ted Lasso, they have a Believe poster that he has up. I have a Daytona poster, and I want I want to be perfect for Daytona, which is their national championships.
I'm going to Mexico in exactly 35 days from this recording. And I think I'm going to start writing down like 35 days to Daytona to like inspire me to get on the goddamn Peloton.
You're perfect just the way you are. But if you could just be Daytona ready.
Yeah, you can be in shape, but you're not in competition shape. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but like when that was said, I was like, wow, this was me in high school doing show choir, because competition season and Hell Week, I mean, that's real shit. But anyways, this doesn't matter. Why are you trash?
I'll just say one more thing. I've never related harder than people throwing up in a gym, getting ready.
God.
I was like,
they throw up so much.
They throw up so much. I was like, that was me during competitive sports. I understand you. I have a coworker, and she was talking about her son doing a bad habit. And she was like, Erica, it's so, and it's like one of those things that, like, as a parent, you're kind of embarrassed to admit, but, and like tattle on your kid about. And she was like, my oldest chooses toenails.
What?
And she kind of was like, I'm embarrassed. I used to chew my toenails. And I was like, you'd have thought I was a yogi in India the way I used to chew my toenails. I was the most flexible kid. And I would get in there. I would chew on my toenails. The flexibility that I had as a child to get to a toenail and to pick one off, I couldn't wait to get out of a shoe to chew on a toenail.
I don't like this about you.
My toes are now in a pedicure, like 247. I can't get my mouth near a toenail now, but just know, as a child, I was chewing on them toenails.
I feel like if I saw my child chewing on their toenails, I would like have to spray them with a water bottle, like knock, because it just seems like something a little animal will do.
I'm not proud of this. This is pure, it triggered like a trashy memory in me. Like my body was like flooded with like trash adrenaline. And I was like, oh, I used to do that.
When did you stop?
I was probably too old. Probably somebody like saw my feet and shamed me publicly, like in a team sport environment. You have ugly toes when you're playing sports. And I probably had ugly toes for someone to notice.
Wow.
And it probably broke me inside, the way all team sports are supposed to do. They're supposed to break you of something inside of you and conform, just like cheer. And I used to chew on them toes, and man, was I the most flexible. I mean, foot behind my head. Could I get that foot up there?
Right.
Was I disgusting?
Okay. I don't like it.
No, but I became closer with a coworker. We bonded a little over this moment, but
that's what matters.
That's what matters. Now, how are you, trash?
I'm doing a dry January or whatever. Fuck. And I went into it being like, well, I'll save money, all that money I spend on alcohol, I'll save it. Quite the opposite has been happening. My partner went out of town last weekend, and I was left to my own devices and was just shopping. Like,
Oh
I went
no.
I went to Home Goods, I walked around, I didn't see anything I wanted, so I left, and I was like, "Look at me," and then I went to Target, and I left without buying anything, and I was like, "Okay, I'm crushing the game right now. I'm looking, I'm keeping myself occupied, but I'm not spending any money," and I did the same thing. I went to IKEA, I didn't buy anything. I had a cart full of stuff, and I said, "Nope," and then I ditched it, which I know is, like, shitty to, like, retail employees, but, like, it's good to me. But then on my way home, like just like high on like my adrenaline of like I didn't spend any money. I was like, "Oh, there's a new thrift store. I'm going to go in there." And then all of a sudden, my brain switched to you're at a thrift store. You're allowed to spend money here because everything's cheaper. And I ended up spending like $50 in the thrift store. And I was like, okay, well, that happened, but that's fine. Everything is fine still. And then I went home and then I just spent like $130 online on shoes. Like, I don't
Ooh,
even remember it happening.
there it goes. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, "Why the fuck am I d" oh, and I think I spent another $58 on Amazon.
Tick,
It
tick,
was
boom.
it was like I don't know if this is the right analogy, so I probably shouldn't compare them, but I'm going to. It's like someone who's like who has like a sex addiction and they go to a bunch of strip clubs, but they don't buy a lap dance, they don't touch the strippers, and they're like, "I did it," but then they get home and they just like fuck this shit out of their wife. That's probably not the that's
I
probably
don't
not
know.
the right.
I don't know if that's the right one to make, but I think you're in the
Oh no.
you're circling the drain.
Anyway, yeah, that's my problem. I just can't stop. But I'm really excited for all these shoes. I bought it like Nasty Gal. Everything's like 70% off. Like, what do you want me to do? Not buy 4 pairs of shoes?
Yeah, I keep buying pajamas and lounge sets from the Nasty Gal, thinking that the
Mm-hmm.
next pajamas I'll be the pajama set that solves everything. If I just get
Mm-hmm.
one more pair of pajamas, it'll fix me. And it's not. It turns
And
out, no, haven't been fixed, haven't been healed, have not been healed yet.
it's weird. I don't know why I ordered from Nasty Gal because every time I do, like I end up only keeping like the jewelry, but like returning every single bit of clothing I buy from them because it either fits weird or it's like impractical or something. I bought a pair of mom jeans. I talked about it on this podcast where I was like, fuck this trend. I look like a plumber. Like, this is not, no offense to plumbers. I look like a male plumber that I don't want to look like. You feel me? But, I kept going back for the abuse. So here we are. Maybe I should just go back to drinking wine. Erica, why don't we get into our first story?
Okay, that sounds like a solid plan.
Okay. According to New York Post, a jealous woman makes boyfriend FaceTime her for his entire 12-hour work shift. Back in the day when we used to have to pay for minutes, this shit wouldn't fly.
No, no, it would not. A woman has been called insane on social media for reportedly forcing her boyfriend to face her for the duration of his 12-hour shift at an Amazon warehouse.
Her reason, apparently she doesn't trust other women. Haven't you read the news? You don't think that they don't have any fucking time to be
No,
having affairs on their Amazon shifts?
no, and especially if he's having to go to housewares to grab a shoe, to go back to grabbing like a baby rattle, like for a sketch show, like just thinking about the carts, the random assortment of carts that I make, and
Mm-hmm.
this poor guy having to fulfill my carts and the shit that I put in there. He doesn't have time. He's got to go all over the warehouse.
Yeah. So she said, my boyfriend needs to face me his whole 12-hour shift, not because I don't trust him, but because I don't trust females. Even adding the caption, might quit my job and go work with him. Here's your first red flag. Any woman who calls another woman female,
Female, red flag.
typically, right? Like, I don't, when you're just like, oh God, this group of females over there, it's like, whose side are you on?
Right, right. It's not honey, it's a us. It's a
Yeah.
us versus them. Not a
You're a fucking female.
Yeah.
Like, how hot is your boyfriend that you don't trust other women around him like in their Amazon shifts?
Honey, he's no offense, he's working at Amazon warehouse shift. He's not on America's Next Top Model.
And even if he was, they're busy at Go Sees.
They're busy. They're out with go-sees.
Like,
Oy.
hello, they're getting buried alive for a photo shoot for Tyra Banks' sport. Like, they don't have time either.
Her boyfriend, who is identified as Jose Marcias by the Daily Mail, is seen packaging products in the warehouse as Nayla is doing dishes on the other end of the FaceTime call.
I mean, couldn't he get fired for this too?
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, not a kindly overlord.
No. So, I mean, anyways, the moral of the story is therapy.
Yes, intense outpatient therapy.
These people need to leave each other because there's clearly really, really bad trust issues within the relationship. You cannot possibly fucking say that you're FaceTiming him for 12 hours because you trust him. You just don't trust other women around him. Like, no, because if you trusted him, then it doesn't matter what other women do. People aren't just like running at people like vagine first. Like,
that's how I
and even
approach it when I'm single.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, just vagine first at anyone.
Well, regardless, if she's FaceTiming him, like, she's not gonna be able to do anything about it anyways.
Yeah, she's just gonna have a front row seat to watch it.
This is fucking stupid. Shame on you. Toxic behavior.
Yeah. Speaking of very toxic behavior, let's get into our next story from the IndianExpress.com. UK mom in shock after she finds a huge bag of crystal meth in children's breakfast cereal.
So this British woman opened up a cereal bag and found another bag in it.
You know, it's just like the way we used to find toys when we were little within cereal boxes.
Yeah. The toy was meth.
Methios.
It's funny. So her first move was to Google what it was. And then through Google, she figured out it was meth. Apparently, the cereal was only half full, too. So not only did she find meth in her cereal, but she got like only half a bag of cereal.
Oh, now that's the real crime with the supply chain these days. Who knows when she'll get another box of cereal on the shelves?
I'll tell you this. If this were a television show, this woman would try to figure out how to sell this meth. In fact, if this were another type of trashy story, this woman would have tried to sell the meth rather than turning it in. But she did the right thing and she called the police. So I don't even know if this story's trashy. I think that this is the story of someone finally taking our advice and doing the right thing, which is if you find a bag of meth in your cereal, you take your kids to the hospital and you call the police.
No, agreed. I think it's trashy whoever put meth in the cereal box.
Well, of course. I mean, a story involving meth is going to end up on this podcast. I'm just saying we have a hero on our hands.
When a hero comes along.
You know who's also kind of a hero?
You know? Yeah. Who's a hero?
I think it's the woman in the next story, but the way you reacted makes me think you think it's the man.
I mean,
okay. Well, listeners can decide. According to Fox10Phoenix.com, a man orders 100 tacos on first date, asks woman to pay for them.
So, as we know, first dates can be awkward, but a woman on TikTok shared a unique story that has since gone viral. It seems a man she met on the dating app really, really likes Taco Bell tacos.
So she did this in response to the TikTok question about what your worst first date experience was. And so this guy invited her out to dinner and they meet at his place. And then he says that he lost his keys and asks her to drive. And the directions that he gave her was the Taco Bell drive-through lane.
Okay, so then he orders 100 hard shell tacos.
That must have taken 20 minutes.
Oh, I mean, and that's the hardworking people at Taco Bell doing everything they can. Heroes of the story.
So then he tells the date that he can't find his wallet. So she's like, okay, I'll pay. And then they went back to his house and just were eating the tacos at his kitchen table in silence.
So what do? Just mouth sounds.
Yeah. Like, I guess what is there to talk about, other than to eat the tacos? At one point, this guy's father joined them. So and then she was like, okay, the date's over. And she took the rest of the tacos with her. So.
Oh yeah. You take your tacos and leave.
100%. Oh, apparently while they were waiting for the order, he spent the time talking about his ex-girlfriend.
I mean, not all heroes wear capes. This guy.
He's not a hero.
He had her pay for the tacos, drive him around. I kind of like where his head's at. He's just testing the boundary. Like, how deep can he go into the pool? And she was like, I don't know. How deep can you swim? She was giving him a lot of leeway.
She really was. I mean, honestly, though, if you're just trying to score a free meal for you and your dad, you don't have to make it 100 tacos.
20 tacos would have been sufficient,
I guess. Yeah. Apparently it took 15 minutes and it cost about $150. So, Taco Bell's the real hero here because they pumped out 100 tacos in 15 minutes and for such a reasonable price.
Taco Bell. Eat
moss. Catering for that cheap. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. When you hear the ding, that's Taco Bell. Not sponsored by this podcast.
The ding?
The commercials where the bell rings.
Oh.
And they're summoned to Taco Bell regardless of the situation in front of them.
Oh, those are the newer commercials. Those are kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is kind of funny?
Okay, sure.
Kind of a dystopian nightmare. Well, it's kind of funny that 2 LAPD officers ignored a robbery in progress to go catch a Snorlax in the Pokemon Go app.
They were fired for ignoring a robbery in progress. This was back in 2017 was when the incident happened. I'm assuming they were just fired now, considering how the LAPD works. And they were summoned to the robbery in progress, but some other officers were leaving that because there was a homicide. And they were like, well, we don't want to go either. And they backed down an alley and drove away. But because these fucking cars record them, which is good, there's just 20 minutes of these 2 cops discussing Pokemon.
And Snorlax is a giant mythical Pokemon. And so it's a rare Pokemon.
Apparently, yeah.
And they're discussing to the different locations where the virtual creatures apparently appeared on their mobile phones.
Yeah. I mean, look,
again, our stance, I feel has always been fund the police. And if there were more police officers, this wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing. I don't necessarily have a problem with police officers playing Pokemon Go on the job because a lot of the time they're just kind of cruising around whatever. fine. The person in the passenger seat plays Pokemon Go. Okay. But not when it gets in the way of your job and stopping a robbery. I don't know. When do video games go too far?
I mean, it's a rare Pokemon and it's hard to catch. Like, I almost sympathize with them. Level 24 trainer. Like, I'm a low on the Pokemon scale.
Sure.
But I
well,
mean,
they lost their appeal on Friday, so they're definitely fired. And the court filings said that playing Pokemon Go shows a complete disregard for the community, wasted resources, violated public trust, and was unprofessional and embarrassing to the department. Their behavior reflected gross negligence, cowardice, lack of thoughtfulness, and deceit. Man, they must just recycle that one. They go, okay, so instead of playing Pokemon Go, just plug in killing an innocent Black person.
Their appeal said that the LAPD violated their privacy by listening to the conversation that they had over LAPD radio.
Yeah, dude, those things have to be recording you. They literally have to, because you're a fucking cop and you need to be following the rules at all times. So fuck off. Like, this guy up at his Amazon job, outside of this person FaceTiming him 12 hours a day, he's being monitored too by his boss. Like, it is what it is. Your privacy is not being violated. And also, why does everybody always start shouting about privacy once they get caught doing something wrong?
My privacy.
Like, well, that was private. It's like, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Get mad if the LAPD, like, people start razzing you about like anal fissures or something because you talk to your partner about that, and then everyone knows that's your privacy. Not the fact that you didn't go to a robbery and they're like, why didn't they go to the robbery? Let's check their tapes. Maybe something happened. Oh, it was Snorlax. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, the motto is gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
That's the LAPD's motto.
You know what? I think it works both ways. Pokemon and
right.
LAPD.
Yeah. You know who the cops could have also went to? Oh, fucking stupid. That's
no. I like where your head was at.
Where the cops could have also went to?
I keep workshopping it.
You know who also needed police?
Yep. There you go.
According to Fox 13 News, a Clearwater woman arrested after throwing glitter at a man while breaking into his apartment. This is Clearwater, Florida, y'all. We made it.
We're back in Florida. We never left in our hearts.
Clearwater police arrested 2 women accused of breaking into a man's apartment and throwing glitter at him during a dispute. This is a good weapon.
Because A, glitter never goes away.
No.
And B, how is a grown man going to be like, would they do glitter at me?
Well, Erica, if you just remove toxic masculinity, you'll see that glitter hurts everyone.
You're right. You're right. I came at that from the patriarchy, and yep.
So it was 29-year-old and a 27-year-old woman. They showed up to this guy's apartment around 3 a.m. and they were arguing with him as he stood on his fenced patio, which, like, if you need to argue with someone at 3 a.m., like, please, no, I'm going to argue with you. You're not allowed to come in. You're not allowed to rob me. Like, I feel like you've already made some mistakes as a robber.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there shouldn't be a negotiation at the top.
Right. Either you're robbing me in my sleep, or there's no like, no, don't come in. Can we rob you? There's no negotiation.
Let us in. So they threw a container of glitter at him, which hit him in the head and upper torso, which so I'm assuming it was open, but they just, shouldn't you just kind of toss the glitter at him? But like they just ditched the whole plastic container.
So she threw more containers of glitter at the victim once
As she hopped the fence.
Hopped the fence. But after an hour, investigators tracked the car back to their apartment, probably because of a trail of glitter.
100%.
And it said the vehicle was still warm to the touch. And police spotted glitter inside the car.
They're not saying it in here, but like they must know this guy. Glitter is personal,
Yes, glitter is you owe us money for something. Glitter is we got into a three-way and it didn't go our way.
Yeah, like because if you're just gonna rob some random person, I suppose there's other ways to do it, like that don't add insult to injury. Like just rob them and get out of there. But if you're mad at them, yeah, that's when the glitter comes into play because you're fucking up like their next few weeks at least.
Do you know how much vacuuming I have to do now?
Yeah. Speaking about fucked up few weeks.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. This next story has me livid, but then there's a small part of my brain that said, do I do this too? Because I feel like I'm the only person in LA that has not caught Omicron yet.
I haven't gotten it either. I really, really thought I did though. But I according to all the tests I took and all the tests my partner took, we didn't get it. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll get into the story. So from the NewYorkPost.com, a bride-to-be attempts to contract COVID at a club so it doesn't spoil her wedding.
Yeah. So she put this on TikTok. She says, POV, your wedding is in 6 weeks and you still haven't had COVID. And this is her and her like soon to be husband or whatever, like at a nightclub, like swapping drinks with people. Like they were like they were trying to catch COVID.
Like aggressively trying to catch COVID.
Which there's not a ton of COVID in Australia. So you're really just swapping spit with people. Like you're going to catch something else.
You're going to get mouth herpes.
Yeah. So, and so the comments were split somehow of people being like, yes, I feel this on so many levels. Like I feel you, sis. And then there's other people being like, sucks to be a healthcare worker watching this. Yeah, dude.
I like that the article goes, even Love Island season 3 contestant Ryan Reed chimed in. Like this, he's not what? Like what does that matter that he chimed in?
He must have been a nasty boy on Love Island.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't know. Why do you think you do this?
You want the antibodies?
Then you get the booster.
I know. I'm with you. I understand that. But I have a trip coming up and I think, do I get COVID now so I get it out of the way so my trip doesn't get postponed and ruined? But then I'm like, no, the object is to not get COVID at all.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely that energy to it that like, once you just get it out of the way, then at least for like the next 4 months or so, you kind of can put it on the back burner. But the problem is that it affects everyone around you in a way, technically, until you find out whether or not you have it. Like you could still be spreading it. I don't know. This shit's fucked up and I'm ready for it to stop. That's where I'm at, because the only reason that we're thinking that way is because we have to rationalize and find the silver lining to the very real fact that we might catch it.
Right.
Yeah. Because the initial goal is don't catch COVID, but because everyone we fucking know is catching it, all of a sudden we have to be like, Well, look on the bright side. If I catch it now, then I won't catch it right before my trip. Like,
Right.
it's fucked up. This is fucked up. Everything is fucked up. Help. Help.
Help.
I'm
I'm
spiraling.
I'm living in like a pre-vaccine fear. Like I lived fairly loosey goosey for after the vaccine and booster, and then it came crashing down with Omicron because of the contain. I'm just so everyone knows where I am. I am living in a place of fear again, and I don't enjoy that. I don't like who I've become because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Groceries are delivered again. Like I'm not leaving my
You're like
apartment.
that hard again?
Mentally, like it's a block. It's a block for me.
Man, I'm not there. I feel like I almost got there, but then I was like, no, no. Because I kind of started seeing everyone get it who had a booster shot like me. And I was like, oh, I guess it's like kind of chill if you have I don't know. See, this is rationalizing. Because I don't want to go back to where you are. I want to carry on with my life.
Yes. I
You
I
know,
I want you to I want that for people. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to be mentally where I am. Like I'm not in a
we're
good place.
we're doing outdoor activities for the most part, and
Yeah.
since I'm in a dry January, it's not like we're going into bars and shit. Yeah, man. I thoughts and prayers for you that you're able to get out of that, because this is no good.
The boy is no good.
Do you want to go back to Florida?
I would love to go back to Clearwater, Florida. I think about it all the time.
All right. Well, according to the OrlandoWeekly.com, Florida man claims that bags of cocaine and meth found wrapped around his penis aren't his. A simple mistake.
Let he who casts the first, let he who cast the first stone be, not be his.
What?
Hold on, I'll get there.
Okay.
If this has happened to you, cast the first stone, like fuck, I don't know. I'm just saying, if this hasn't happened to you, then you can cast the first stone.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I had it and then I lost it
I feel like
immediately.
the thing that you're trying to quote doesn't pertain to this situation. I think you're just trying to sound smart, my sweets.
Oh, maybe. All right, let's get into
You
it.
did. You sounded really smart.
Oh,
Yeah, you did. It was good. It just didn't make sense, but it was really smart stuff.
let he who hasn't had a bag of meth wrapped around his penis cast the first stone. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, a Clearwater man claims that drugs deputies found wrapped around his penis did not belong to him.
We've talked about this before. I think we were dealing with someone having drugs up their butt at an airport, but and they'd be like, well, it's not mine. Here's the deal. If it's up your butt, or if it's rubber band to your penis, or if it's on your person in general, outside of it just being in your pocket, because tricky people can get things into people's pockets and plant stuff on you. I'll say, if you've got a backpack and there's suddenly meth in the front pocket and you go, that's not mine, I don't know how it got, I'll believe you. But if it's on your penis, I don't know how it got there without at least your consent.
You had to somehow be involved to it being
And
wrapped around a dangling orifice off your body.
and wouldn't that be an ouchie? Men, right in. Is that an ouchie?
How much weight can those things handle? And can you work out with, can you build strength up in that by putting weight upon them and then getting erection? I don't know. Can you build up strength?
Did you ever watch John Wilson, or How To with John Wilson or whatever on HBO?
Oh, no, I've heard it's wonderful.
There's guys who they're anti-circumcision type people, and they deal with this guy who has been circumcised but is anti-circumcision, so he's trying to stretch his foreskin to come back, And so he like attaches weights
No.
to his
No. Nope.
penis.
That's not
And
real.
like, so I think that they can hold, like, how heavy are drugs? I don't know. I think that it all happens in ounces and grams, so it's probably very
Grams.
specific.
Yeah.
But I think a PP could hold it. I just think, especially a seated PP, because he was pulled over in his car for a DUI and possession of marijuana. That's the other thing. It was DUI, possession of marijuana. They found a gun under his seat, and then a bunch of drugs like wrapped around his penis. My guy.
Why was he pulled over? Because he was driving without his lights on. Here's the thing.
Guys.
Broken windows. You've got to do the little things right so you don't get busted for the big things. Don't do the big things.
No.
You got to do the little things right.
It's just careless.
It's just careless.
That's what I think. It's just careless. You know who was actually acting very careless as well?
I say she was acting intentional.
I mean, I don't know, like, if I'm rooting for her or not. I might be.
I almost get it.
So, according to the insider.com, a woman goes on a rampage at a bridal salon after not getting her deposit back and cuts up to 32 wedding dresses worth $11,000.
I think weddings and the bridal industrial complex makes people lose their goddamn minds.
Yes, I would agree with that statement. This is an irate customer at a bridal salon in China. She lost what was equivalent to $550 of a deposit because she had booked some sort of wedding package back in October, and then she canceled it, and they were like, "Okay, well, we're not going to give you your deposit back." So then she just went like banana sandwich with some scissors and started just chopping up like really expensive wedding dresses.
Yeah, that is nutty. 32 dresses.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because it's like maybe the story's not telling it right, but it sounds like the people in the salon was like, "Okay, calm down, just don't cut this one. This one's more expensive." And then the person's like, "Oh, it is." Like cuts it. It's like, quit pointing out the ones that are more expensive.
Yeah, quit. Yeah, it sounds like you just kind of said, "Do this one next."
Yeah, like, I hope she doesn't touch that one. Like,
yeah. This one, it's several tens of thousands. The person cautions the woman as she cut the lavish gold and red traditional Chinese wedding gowns.
Like, I think that they were trying to warn her, like, hey, don't cut that one because that one's really expensive and we're going to make you pay for it. But the woman who was mad was like, I don't give a fuck. Snip, snip, snip. Which to me, if I read this story and I was in China and I wanted to get, and I was getting married, I'd be like, hey, what's the deal on those broken dresses?
Yeah,
I smell a discount.
Yeah, I'll repair that dress.
Yeah, like, let's go. Because these dresses are expensive. I don't know. I had to cancel a wedding once. You know that, right?
Yes.
Of course, everyone knows that. I talk about it all the time. And they wouldn't let me return my dress, which made me mad. I think I was like 2 or 3 months out of the window of when I could have returned the dress, even though I feel like I got anyways, it doesn't matter. They wouldn't let me return the dress. And I was furious because it'd never been altered, had never been worn. Nothing about it was different except that I owned it. And made me mad. And it just kind of justifies a little bit of a rampage.
Yeah. It scratches a little bit of the itch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have paid to have been in that room to watch that.
100%.
That
would have been nuts. Like, and imagine again being one of the women who's trying on dresses there, like their bridal appointment is that day. Well, this one goes nuts.
Oh my God. I mean,
I would be like, you know what? It doesn't sound like your deposit policy is very reasonable. I think I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
Exactly. I mean, I spilt champagne during a wedding dress try on, and I felt
Uh,
like I was the biggest bull in a china shop. And I was like, but this woman, this is an icon. Like,
if they're going to give champagne in the bridal salon, why do they only make it one glass?
because
Am I
legally
an
they're
alcoholic?
no, I asked for a second. They said no.
Yeah.
Legally they don't have like a liquor license.
Mm.
They're not supposed to give you the one, I think.
I don't know. I mean, it just, they should tell you when they give you the champagne because they're goosing you up. They're like, oh, here's your champagne. They should say, like, by the way, sip it slow, you drunk, because I
Sip it
can't give you
slow,
another one.
bitch. Sip it slow.
Oh, hey, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
It's time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking ready. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week. Oh my God. Now, I see that you're starting this with a quote from Hank Hill.
Okay, so as many of you may not know, Hank Hill is the a king, an icon, the moment. And he says,
King of the
Bobby
Hill.
from King of the Hill, and he's grilling steaks. He's grilling steaks, and his son Bobby says, what do we do if someone wants theirs well done? And Hank just says, we ask them firmly but politely to leave.
So, according to Newsweek.com, a man refused to make a $120 steak well done for a woman, and that divided the internet. This comes from Newsweek, but it also comes from our favorite, the Am I the Asshole subreddit.
So it's detailing how he ended up falling out with a longtime friend after their girlfriend asked for an expensive Wagyu steak to be well done.
So here's the thing. It was an extravagant Thanksgiving meal involving a tight-knit group of 10 friends made up mostly of couples, which his now former friend and his new girlfriend, who they were only like a couple months in, this guy met this girl. And he said that this year was particularly special because he'd lucked into a strip loin of A5 Wagyu for a price that was unorthodox levels of cheap, thanks to a friend who works at a high-end meat distributor.
So Wagyu beef represents something akin to the Rolls Royce of steak. For those of you who don't know, it's a Japanese bred beef with made notable because of the copious amounts of marbling, which is fat within the meat, which gives the meat a unique and irresistible tenderness.
So, if you order this from a restaurant, this kind of Wagyu, like you're looking at spending like $100 to $200 for this meal of steak. And entrusted with cooking the meat for Thanksgiving get together, he pulled out all the stops to ensure that his friends could enjoy the Wagyu beef the best that they possibly could. This guy clearly takes it fucking seriously.
According to him, this is a quote: steak is about the closest thing I have to a religion, and I take it very seriously. The average steak for me takes about 4 to 5 hours to prepare and cook, though sometimes I take as much as 3 to 4 months to butter aging or dry aging my meats to be certain that they are perfect. Okay.
So we'll skip through. Basically, this girlfriend was mortified when she saw her piece of steak because there was pink there was pink on the inside of the diner steaks, and she claims that it should be brown all the way through, otherwise you'll get sick. She's wrong.
She's wrong.
She's fucking wrong, okay? She's fucking wrong. So anyways, she wanted to have hers cooked more, and he said there's not a chance. And then she got angry and started shouting that was how her steak, or that she should have her steak how she wants it. And then they got in a straight up dispute where she was trying to like put it in the microwave and he like intercepted it, and then it fell on the floor, and then the dog ate it, but he was like, good, better that it went to the dog. And it was like really awkward, it sounds like. But you're gonna put fucking piece of steak in the microwave because you like it well done. I don't know, man. Like, I think that this girl was kind of fucking causing a scene.
Yeah, I mean, if they burn the chicken, learn to eat it black. If you're at someone else's house, you know what I mean?
100%.
If you're at someone else's house, you just fucking deal with it for that.
It's apparently there was other options too. There was like jerk
Side
chicken,
dishes.
Mandarin duck breast, cherry jalapeno sand. Like they didn't, and then there was a menu that was set week in advance. Like she didn't have to have any of the steak. I understand, like if you're trying to be like, the hero of the night and be like, everyone stop, your chicken is undercooked, everyone's gonna get a stomach ache here if I don't say something. But also I don't really understand that, because you're right, if the food's cooked weird, just don't eat it, or like I don't, or like something. But you don't know what the fuck you're talking about if you think that steak has to be cooked all the way through.
It's disgusting. And like, here's what made me go, something ain't right about our former president, is he likes his steak cooked well done.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, apparently, this is according to my mom, that like my entire Cuban family would always overcook the burgers because they always wanted their shit well done too. I get it. Some people like their stuff well done, and just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I really don't agree with it. But like, live your fucking life. But when you're at someone else's house, you don't take your food and like try to microwave it.
At someone else's house, mind you.
Using someone else's microwave?
Yeah. Like, if they cook the chicken black, eat it. Like, sorry, like, choke that shit down.
I mean, like, and then there's the thing on the other hand, is that he could have just like cooked her steak a little bit longer, and he could have had an attitude about it, but he didn't have to cause a scene either. But it sounds like he takes steak pretty seriously. Maybe his longtime friend could have warned this girlfriend. I don't know. There's a lot of things that happened. I have an anecdote. I dated a girl, and she was wonderful, hilarious, nice, very sweet, a good texter. She was very pretty, like really had a lot going for her, you actually even met her. I brought her to one of your parties.
Okay.
And everything was great. But this is not a joke. There was things about her that I couldn't seem to get over, and that I knew wasn't going to pan out into a long-term relationship. And there was obviously bigger things because we broke up, but like one of the things that was not the biggest thing, but it definitely wasn't the smallest, was that she liked her meat well done.
Ooh,
and I just like, it's embarrassing to me that I say that, and that was really a factor. But it's kind of one of those things when like, when you have a little bit of a list of other things that just aren't quite clicking with you, then suddenly this becomes bigger.
Yes,
and then all of a sudden you find yourself in therapy being like, she likes her meat well done, how am I supposed to do this? And your therapist is like, that's very funny, obviously there's other problems, but like okay. And yeah, that's real. I really, how can you, because to me, if you like your meat well done, are you even a foodie? No, you're not.
no.
We're gonna get hate mail for this.
That's fine. I would never in someone else's home demand a dish be prepared. Now, if somebody's grilling and they go, how do you like it?
Yep.
I would say, oh, I prefer my medium rare. Great. I'll do that.
Which is what you should do if you're hosting people. If you're hosting people and you're cooking burgers, you're cooking any kind of red meat, you should be asking people, how do you want your meat?
Yes.
That is the right thing to do.
Yeah. You should be asking.
And if someone does say well done, you know, you go, okay. And you cook it well done, and then you move on, and you just keep in the back of your mind, and it festers that you know that that one person ordered their shit well done, but you let it go. Also, in the same breath of like eat the black chicken, like that you said, if it's blackened and it's burnt, you eat it. Like eat a well done steak if someone overcooks your shit. If you're at their house, just fucking
Uh-huh.
eat it.
It's like that scene from Christmas Vacation where they're gnawing on bone. Like you just chew the turkey. Like if
Where's
that's
your manners? Where's your manners?
yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways. Ay, ay, ay. There's a lot of discourse against this. Both, people are divided. I
yeah.
feel like there are good arguments on both sides, but yeah, asking people, how do you like your meat? But at the same time, you're a guest. The meat was prepared. There were other options. And like, grow up. Eat your steak medium rare.
Yeah. Or just Google it really fast. If you really think that everyone's about to get sick, go to the bathroom really fast and just Google it.
Just Google it. Just Google it. But whatever. Oh my God. Are you hoarding anything, my chickadee?
Alone time.
Tell me about it. What's that like?
Well, like I said, my partner went out of town, and did I spend a lot of money? Yes. But I really got a whole weekend where I just kind of I kind of cleaned the house, but I did it at my own pace. And I did it without, like, the TV was on, so it wasn't in silence, but like I wasn't speaking. I wasn't really having to think much. Like, there's something meditative almost to being alone. And the pandemic was awful, and being alone in that sense was not good. But now that, things are starting to hopefully keep getting back to normal, like, I don't know, it's just nice to be alone sometimes. So if you can squeeze out a little bit of alone time for yourself, I recommend it.
Hell yeah.
Just doing things at your own pace. That's really what it is. That's why I liked it so much. I got to wander through Target. Nobody asking me why we're there, nobody wanting to look at what they wanted to look at, nothing like that. And at home, I got to just watch what I wanted to watch, and like clean at the pace I wanted to clean, and eat when I wanted to eat, and what I wanted to eat, and how much of it I want. It's just like, it was great. I love, love, love my partner when he's around, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's alone time.
I Winston goes to bed now. It's been a reversal in the pandemic where he goes to bed before I do, and him and one of our cats goes to bed together, and they have their alone time where
Mhm.
quite literally the cat lays on his chest, and they have, they do what was your rose, what was your thorn, and they talk it out, and they have their, and if that cat Charlie does not get its alone time, it will claw at the door all night. So it has to have its alone time. But then I get to have my alone time on the couch where I can just watch TV or play a game on my phone. And it's like, ooh, this is my alone time. And it's just like a nice little retreat, even if it's just 30 minutes. It's very nice.
It's great.
Yeah. Highly recommend. Highly
Uh,
recommend.
what are you hoarding?
Okay. The show Search Party is back
Right.
for the fifth and final season,
Hmm.
but they've done something new genre wise each season. And it's so interesting and good and funny and well acted. And John Early is a comedic genius. And it's so goddamn good. It is on HBO Max. I highly, highly recommend it. This fifth season, it just elevates it. I really, really, really like it. And I'm really sad to like say goodbye to Search Party, but they're sending it off in a beautiful way.
I've heard really good things about it. I just haven't I've watched like the first couple episodes. I haven't gotten into it, and I know I need to just push through, but I feel like life just always gets in the way.
Life finds a way, Cassandra. Life
I know.
finds a way.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah. 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 You've got to come to it on your own, though. I can't force you to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you throwing away?
Stitch Fix.
Oh no. I just got them to
What?
sponsor this podcast.
No shit. I'm lying.
No, just kidding. No, I didn't.
I said last week that I was sponsoring or that I was hoarding them conditionally based on the quality of my next box. And I got my next box and I ended up buying one thing, but like the rest of it was kind of just meh. But I was like, I'm not going to hold that against them. But then they were like, do you want another one? We'll give you another one and we won't charge you the styling fee. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll take another one. And then they do this thing where they let you preview the stitch, like the fix, and they give you like 8 items to choose from and you choose 5. And I didn't like one single item. And in fact, so they sent me 2 dresses and they were the same exact dress, but different print, which was fine. I chose them in my preview. I was like, oh, that's a cute dress. I'm going to choose it in these 2 different colors since they gave me the option. And the dress wasn't flattering. So I put in my return notes, this dress isn't flattering on me, you know? And so then in this new box that they were sending me, what do I fucking see but that dress again in a different color? And I'm like, are you even reading the notes?
Are you even reading the fucking notes?
I said that dress wasn't flattering on me. Furthermore, I asked specifically for like different styles of like bottoms, like pants, skirts, whatever. The only bottom because I said I have enough dresses and I don't want to see any more pantsuits because I've bought 2 pantsuits from them now. And what do you think I get? I got a pair of sweats, this fucking dress that doesn't fit me or that doesn't look right, and then a dress in 2 jumpsuits. I'm like, you're not listening.
No.
So if like don't come at me and pretend like you fucking listen when you don't. So I'm throwing it out. I'm done with it. Fuck you. I understand. I'm a bigger girl. Maybe you're not overflowing with a plethora of options for me in my price range. But like, do better. Like, don't contradict me. Boo.
Boo.
So I'm throwing them out. I'm mad at it.
Yeah.
I did say don't like on all of the options that they sent, and they were like, oh my God, we're so sorry. Like, let us know why you don't like it and we'll put something else together for you. And then I did. And then they were like, cool, we're shipping out your fix. And they don't even let me preview the one where they're putting things together for me.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what's going to show up on my door? Who fucking knows?
Just a burlap sack.
Honestly.
With spray paint all over it.
Anyways, if you do want to try a Stitch Fix, let me know because I do still have a code. What are you throwing out?
Wordle.
What?
It's taken over my social media. Wordle.
Oh, someone who I know from high school who's pregnant posted about that.
Everyone I know has posted about it, and I just don't. It's fine. It's not that fun. It's just a word guessing game. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a 5-letter word guessing game. And you type in any 5-letter word, and then it shows you in green on the next line how many of the letters you got correct. And so then you try to guess, on the next line, the word. You're trying ultimately to guess the word in 5 lines. And so it shows you the correct letters every time. It's fine. It's just as everyone is talking about Wordle, and it's not that fun. It's kind of annoying to see it on the timeline, and I'm just over it. I'm throwing it out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Well, where can people find you?
At iconic Erica Curry on the Instagram and at Gilly Gal on the Twitter, where I will not be posting a Wordle.
Okay.
Where can they find you?
at Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also find us on our website, trashytrashypodcast.com, where you can submit stories and tell us why you're trash. We love that. You can also do that too at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. Thank you. We love you. Hey, did you know there's like a tsunami headed for us?
I did not.
Okay, cool. Anyways.
Oh boy.
It popped up on my phone. Like, I thought I had alerts turned off for stupid news, but there's a tsunami advisory for the West Coast. Yeah. Anyways, we didn't have to worry about that. Right?
I live in fear.
Well, we don't live on the beach. It's fine.
I don't want to
I
live
just felt like I needed to say it on air, just in case something happens.
Oh my God. Well, hey, Cass.
Sorry. What's going on, girl?
Stay dry.
You stay dry, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.